Hi guys, Steve from Iconic Car Detailing, and behind me is a TTS, the latest car to add to our collection. And yes, as you can see, another black one. So we now have 4 black cars. Yay for me, all right? But yeah, we picked this one up yesterday. It's in major need of a good detail. But today, we just want to do a short video on how we would wash this car in the current state. So as you can see, it is quite dirty. And a lot of road grime and dirt picked up from the road. Wheels are very dirty, and this little beast is my daughter's second TT now that she gets to cruise around in. It's a nice little car to have some fun with, but as you can see, all this dirt and grime that's stuck to the paint, we need to get all that off safely. So the process for this one will be a snow foam, just to get rid of the bulk of the dirt. So snow foams aren't designed to wash a car, they're designed to get rid of the heavy soiled contaminants on the car paint. Then we wash the car afterwards. So there's a big misconception out there that everyone thinks you snow foam the car, you wash it with the snow foam on it, and you're good to go. It's not really the ideal best way to go about it, because you will cause some damage. All right, but I want to go through a few steps on how we would tackle this job and show you guys the better possible way of washing your car safely. So to start off with, we have 3 buckets, 1, 2, 3. This little black bucket here is just for the wheels. We have a rinse bucket with a grid in there, and then we have our wash bucket with all our tools in there as well. Obviously we have a separate lot of tools for our wheel bucket. We do not want to cross-contaminate with those tools. So we've just applied a nice thick layer of snow foam, and we're going to let this dwell for a few minutes just to break down some of that heavy dirt. Some people rinse the car first before they apply the snow foam. I just put the snow foam straight on because I want the snow foam to loosen the dirt, which will then help it make it easier for it to come off the car. All right, we use Angel Wax products, which is a professional grade product. You can't buy this out of Super Cheap or anywhere. You have to get online from Detail Central, or they are in Carrum Downs. They can help you out with all the products that we use. We just find that they do work a lot better than what you can buy out of Super Cheap, and yeah, do the job much better. So we let this dwell for a bit, and we will then rinse it off. Now I will note at this point, I wouldn't always snow foam a car. For instance, my Audi S3 here, this one here, whilst it does look fairly clean, it is still dirty. It'll have rain spots on it soon when the rain drops dry. Now I wouldn't snow foam this. I would just give it a rinse, and then I'd just do a hand wash. Why? Because it's not heavily contaminated, and it's no point in snow foam. It's not going to make any benefit out of it. It's just no point. We may as well just give it a nice hand wash and clean it up that way. So that was the first point I wanted to make clear, is not every car needs to be snow foamed every time. If it's heavily soiled like the TTS, definitely give it a snow foam first, because that helps break everything down. If the car's just got a light bit of dust on, there's really no point, guys. Just give it a rinse over and give it a good hand wash with a good quality shampoo. If it's a ceramic coat, use a ceramic based shampoo. That'll help keep the ceramic coat up to the levels it should be. But otherwise, you're wasting your time. Yes, it looks cool, but there's really no point. All right, I'm going to rinse this off. We'll go to the next step. So I've just filled the wheel bucket up with some bilberry, which is a good wheel cleaner. We also, in this case, I want to use some Revelation as well, which is an iron remover. So because I haven't done this car before, I want to give it a good detail and really get into all the nooks and crannies with Revelation, which will draw any metal out, any pad dust, etc. Try and draw it out of the wheels, as well as giving the wheels a good clean with bilberry and in the wheel arches. Okay guys, so we've done the wheels, giving them a bit of a clean. Still need more work, but we now have the buckets. So we've got the fresh water bucket or rinse bucket and a wash bucket, and as you notice, we've got the grids, so we throw the grid in there as well. That helps trap dirt at the bottom, so we're not reintroducing dirt back onto the car. So if you're only using one bucket, you're actually contaminating the water, which then you're putting back straight onto the car again. Therefore, the chances of scratching the car is a lot higher than using at least 2 buckets. I've heard of people using 3 buckets. Is it necessary? I don't believe it is personally, but look, it's personal choice. If you feel that you need to go 3 buckets, go for it. You have a rinse bucket or 2 rinse buckets and then your wash bucket. But look, I find just having 1 rinse bucket, 1 wash bucket works quite well anyway. And yeah, we'll go ahead and wash the car. So I've got my wash mitt, not a sponge. These are a much better option to use than a sponge, because the microfiber mitts or microfiber composite with wool is a much safer option. It actually pulls the dirt off the car rather than dragging the dirt across the car. Shampoo, in this case, I'm using some Nanoskin Hypersuds. This is great for cars that aren't ceramic coated. If I have a ceramic coat car, I would then use my, excuse how dirty the workshop is, I've been flat out. I've got my Angel Wax Sublime shampoo. This is a ceramic infused one. There are other ceramic shampoos as well, and they just help with the ceramic coat. So we'll go ahead and start washing. So we've just hand washed the car now, and we've used the 2 bucket method, and I'll show you why it's such a great idea to use the 2 buckets as opposed to just 1. Now this is the rinse bucket, where we've rinsed each time we've done half a panel or to a panel, and this is the soapy water. Now I have removed the suds so you can actually see better, but you can see how clear that water is as opposed to how much dirt has actually come off the car. And if we're only using the 1 bucket, that would all be going straight back onto the car again. Again, it's just another step that actually makes reducing any marks on the car. This dramatically helps a lot. So yeah, it's a good option to choose. Now we're ready to dry the car. There's 2 options to dry it. We can either blow dry it, or we can use a microfiber cloth. In this particular case, I'm going to go the microfiber cloth, only because there's not really much protection on the paint at the moment, and blowing it off would take way too long, whereas a microfiber cloth is much quicker and easier. And plus we're going to be correcting the paint anyway, so it's not going to make that much a difference for us. So I just like to use one of these blue microfiber cloths. It's 2-sided, so this side's got a finer thread and this side's a much heavier one. So this will trap the water. They have to be wet to work well. Don't use a chamois, because again, basically a chamois, think of it as a piece of leather, even the synthetic ones, that has nothing to actually lift up any dirt that's on the body. Yes, there's still a little bit of dirt that traps on the body due to the in-between processes, you know, dust in the air. So this will help reduce any more scratches. I know this car needs a lot of work. I know it's got a lot of scratches on it. It's not that big a deal. But if you've got a nice car that you're trying to look after, and you know, you want to reduce the scratches as much as possible, these are a far better option. There are thicker towels you can use. I just prefer to use this particular one. So I haven't gone into detail on the actual techniques of washing the car. So we don't do swirls, we go back and forth with the panels, etc. But I just want to sort of try and educate a little bit on the best methods of trying to wash a car the best possible way. As I said, this car needs a lot of work done to it. So, you know, it needs a clay bar, it needs a chemical decontamination as well. And then a lot of paint correction. But you know, by hopefully showing you guys that, you know, snow foam isn't the be all and end all solution. You do need to do other steps to maintain the car and make it the best it possibly can, because snow foam alone is not your go-to thing, and it's not always the go-to for every wash. All right guys, hope this helped, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.